Have you ever wondered why we often procrastinate on the most important things in our lives, even when we harbor grand dreams? Is there perhaps something invisible holding us back, causing us to immerse ourselves in temporary comfort, missing golden opportunities to shape our future? In a small, peaceful village nestled beside a gentle river lived a young man named Leo. Leo possessed a passionate heart and an open spirit, always embracing grand ambitions. He dreamed of becoming a skilled farmer, transforming his family's barren land into a fertile, lush field, bringing prosperity not only to himself but also to the villagers. Yet, Leo had an inherent flaw. He always procrastinated, constantly saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," or "There's plenty of time." Whenever he saw Leo dreaming under the ancient almond tree while farm work piled up, Uncle George, his wise relative, respected by the entire village for his experience and profound advice, would shake his head with a sigh. Uncle George understood that Leo had great potential, but his habit of laziness and procrastination was slowly eroding his nephew's will. One afternoon, as the golden sunlight stretched across the yard, Uncle George called Leo over. In his hand were two tiny seeds that looked indistinguishable. He placed one seed in Leo's palm and said in a warm, low voice, "Leo, this is the seed of ambition. It is tiny and fragile, and it needs you to care for it, to cultivate it daily with perseverance, effort, and continuous action. You must water it, fertilize it, and pull out the weeds around it. If you completely forget about it, it will forever remain an inert seed, never sprouting into a plant, never blossoming and bearing fruit into reality." Then he placed the second seed in Leo's hand. "And this, Leo, is the seed of laziness. You see, it looks like an ordinary wheat seed, but its vitality is incredibly strong. You don't need to care for it, you don't need to cultivate it. Even if you try to remove it, it will still grow on its own, spread everywhere, and overwhelm all other plants. It will drain all the nutrients, block out the light, and ultimately turn your entire field of dreams into a desolate wasteland, with nothing left but useless weeds." Leo looked at the two seeds in his hand, filled with apprehension and a touch of worry. Uncle George looked deep into his eyes, his gaze full of expectation, and added, "Your life, Leo, is the field you are sowing. How it will grow, whether it will be lush or desolate, all depends on which seed you choose to nourish. Remember my words well." Leo nodded, but his mind was still hazy about the profound meaning of this lesson. He didn't know that the real challenge had only just begun, and his decision regarding these two seeds would change his life forever. Leo held the two seeds, his heart heavy with thought. He nodded to Uncle George, but in his mind, the uncle's words still felt too abstract. "I'll definitely start tomorrow," he told himself. Then, as was his ingrained habit, he placed the two seeds in a corner of the house, planning to cultivate them more carefully the next day. Tomorrow turned into another tomorrow. The seed of ambition lay dormant in the corner. Leo still dreamed of abundant harvests and a prosperous life, but his hands had never once touched the soil. He believed that as long as he had dreams, everything would automatically come true. Meanwhile, the seed of laziness was different. It didn't need Leo's attention. After just a few weeks, young, green wheat sprouts began to appear in his small garden. At first, there were only a few small plants, easy to pull out, but Leo clicked his tongue. "Oh well, I can pull them out tomorrow." And so, those wheat sprouts grew day by day. They spread everywhere, covering the ground and sucking up all the nutrients. Leo's dream garden had transformed into a desolate wasteland. His seed of ambition, even if it had been sown, would no longer have any chance to sprout. Every time he looked out at the desolate garden, Leo felt a deep sense of disappointment. Uncle George's words echoed, "The seed of laziness will turn your entire field of dreams into a desolate wasteland." He looked at the field, now just a tangled mess of weeds and dry, barren soil. Disappointment turned into regret. Leo realized that dreams don't automatically come true. They require hands, sweat, and daily perseverance. One morning, as the sun shone into the withered garden, Leo decided to make a change. He couldn't continue living in procrastination and regret. He picked up an old hoe and began to work. At first, it was very difficult. The weed roots were deeply embedded, tough and persistent. Leo's hands became calloused, his back ached. But he didn't give up. Whenever he felt discouraged, he remembered the seed of ambition Uncle George had given him, and the lush, green field he had always dreamed of. Day after day, Leo toiled diligently. He pulled out every weed, tilled the soil, and nurtured the land. Despite his fatigue, he still woke early, heading to the field while the dew still clung. He learned how to sow, care for young plants, and wait patiently. He sowed the seed of ambition into the clean soil, watered it, fertilized it, and protected it. Little by little, the first green shoots began to emerge, fragile but full of promise. As time passed, Leo's field transformed. From a desolate wasteland, it became a lush, fruitful garden. Golden rice stalks, vibrant green vegetable beds. All were the result of his tireless labor and resilient will. Leo not only succeeded but also became an example respected by everyone. They came to learn from him about farming methods and the spirit of overcoming hardship, a valuable lesson he had learned. Leo's story is a metaphor for life. Within each person, two seeds exist: ambition and laziness. Ambition, like a precious crop, needs to be nourished with effort, perseverance, and concrete action every day. It requires sweat, hard work, and protection. Conversely, laziness, like a weed, needs no care. It grows on its own, spreads widely, and if not removed, will overwhelm and destroy all dreams and aspirations. Don't wait. Don't say, "I'll do it tomorrow." Start today. Sow your seed of ambition, nurturing it with all your passion and determination. Pull out every lazy weed trying to take over the garden of your life. Because whether the field of your life will be lush or desolate, all depends on your decision. Right now, this very moment. Act to turn your dreams into reality.